So in today's video, longevity and projection are the names of the game. And if you're looking for fragrances that will really blow everything else out of the water, fragrances that have uncompromising longevity, beast mode fragrances, I have a really interesting list for you today. I'm excited to share it with you, so make sure to stay tuned. Begin today's list and I tell you all about these beast mode fragrances, 10 fragrances that have uncompromising longevity. I do want to start things off by saying that if you are a fan of fragrance related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit that bell icon so you could be notified whenever I do upload future videos to the channel. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you take something of value from today's episode. It would really mean a lot to me. I also want to mention that if you're interested in sampling any of these fragrances, you may do so at scentsplit.com. They are 100% legitimate, 100% authentic. I've been using them for many years, and they carry a lot of really hard to find niche fragrances. And you can just get like a small decant. This way you don't have to worry about pulling the trigger on a really expensive fragrance. You can just invest a few bucks in getting a decant or a sample, try it on your skin, see if you like it, see if it works with you, and then eventually commit to a larger bottle. So let's just go ahead and dive into the list. And here are the fragrances. The first one, I'm gonna mention this first because I actually am the creative director for this fragrance. And on my skin and on my clothing, this lasts a very long time. This one is called Primas. Primas means the beginning. It's a Latin word, and you're going to get this green mango note in here. You're going to get this citrusy freshness on account of bergamot, but then you're also going to get this dark gothic leather vibe in the base. This fragrance was composed by Jorge Lee, who has done many fragrances for Nichane, Algabra, Unique Luxury, the list goes on and on. I love Primas, also incredibly versatile. You can wear it all year round if you'd like. I also want to mention Mousse Illumine by Rogue Perfumery. This is an amazing fragrance. If you're a fan of oak moss perfumes and you want to be reminded of the virility and the strength of these oak moss fragrances from like the late 70s, early 80s, there is a very special way that this fragrance is pieced together. The perfumer Manuel Cross has done an exceptional job. Again, oak moss fans, you have been alerted. Mousse Illumine by Rogue Perfumery is one of the best on the market currently. Very proud to have this one in my collection. The next fragrance I want to mention is by one of my favorite niche brands. The quality of this particular fragrance, of every fragrance from this brand, is really through the roof. This is an elemi resin-based fragrance, and by Roja Parfum, it's called A Midsummer Dream. I have been wearing this one to work quite a bit as of late, and this is one of those fragrances where like 3 sprays will last you the whole day. I almost put Amber Oud on the list, but I think this one is a little bit easier to recommend, especially as we're starting to get into some hotter weather now. Amber Oud is more of like a autumn and winter type of a fragrance. The next fragrance is probably the second or third longest lasting fragrance on this entire list. It just performs so incredibly well. There's something about this musky backbone that keeps it lasting such a long time. Really impressive performance by the brand of Kajal. This one is called Dahab. Kajal has some amazing fragrances. 2. Lately we've had Faris, I have Warek, I have Alujain. There's so many from the brand that are incredible, but Dahab is the longest lasting. This is a fruity fragrance. If you're familiar with Erba Pura by Sospiro, which is now under the Xerjoff umbrella, or if you're familiar with Kirke by Tiziana Terenzi, you're going to get something similar with this fragrance. Incredibly long lasting. I'm a big fan of it. The next fragrance I want to mention is probably the longest lasting fragrance from this brand. The brand is none other than Inicio Parfum, and this is Oud for Greatness. Now you're going to get the oud, you're going to get this subtle sweetness in the base. I know some people have compared it to Baccarat Rouge 540. I don't get that per se, but I do get something sweet in the base. that can almost come across as a cotton candy type of a sweetness, but it's very smooth and sophisticated, and it definitely conveys luxury. So if you're looking for a very long-lasting fragrance that projects well, that also smells luxurious, I would definitely go for Oud for Greatness. And then of course, I know I had mentioned Xerjoff when I was talking about Dahab. There is Alexandria 3. Awesome fragrance. I love Alexandria 2, Alexandria 3, and then there's also an Orientale version. This one has Laotian oud, it has Thai oud, Palisander rosewood, rose, lavender, cinnamon, if I'm remembering correctly. Beautiful fragrance, very complex, and I like how it has a very mature sweetness to it, and it's not overly sweet. It's not confectionery or overly done in that manner. So beautiful fragrance, very high quality from what I can sense. The next fragrance happens to be my scent of the day. This is an incense-based fragrance, and it's a dedication to Africa from what I remember. I've done a review on it, so I'm going to leave a card up here. And this fragrance has a lot of incense notes, and there's a woodsy appeal to it as well by Parfum d'Empire. This one is called Wazamba. Awesome fragrance. I think it has Somalian incense. I'm definitely getting olibanum, which is another way of saying frankincense. It has this sort of pine and lemon-like aroma that I really enjoy. So that leaves us with the top 3, and every single fragrance on this list does incredibly well longevity-wise, 10 plus hours in my opinion. But this fragrance is probably the one that is going to land you the most compliments. This is Leighton by Parfum de Marly. You know this fragrance, the apple, the lavender, the vanilla. It has patchouli, sandalwood, pepper, guaiac wood. It's an amazing, amazing fragrance. Anything composed by Hamid Merati Kashani, who is a Firmenich perfumer, any fragrance he's done lasts a very, very long time. So if you're interested in something that lasts a long time, but also has a high compliment factor, Leighton is going to be the fragrance to get that done for you. And this is probably tied with the longest lasting fragrance with Dahab by Kajal. This one, I apologize for not having a full-size bottle, but I do have a decant that came from the original travel set manufactured straight from the brand by Amouage. This is called Interlude 53. Those of you who don't know, Interlude for Men by Amouage is the brand's longest lasting fragrance, in my opinion. The smoke, the oregano, aromatic spice in the opening, it's an amazing fragrance composed by Pierre Negrin. Here you have the same DNA, but it's at 53% oil concentration, which is madness, in my opinion. 2 sprays of this stuff will last you a couple of days. This is an incredibly long-lasting fragrance by Amouage. Again, Interlude 53. And maybe in some ways, I'm glad that I don't have a full-size bottle, because this is really all I need. It's going to last me such a long time. And the fragrance in my #1 spot is actually a new release. This is the more concentrated version, the strongest version of this fragrance. However, the original is also really good when it comes to performance. I feel like a lot of what this brand has put out has been nothing short of excellent. I'm personally a huge fan, and by the way, the brand is BDK Parfum. I'm a huge fan of Rouge Smoking. I also really love Celle d'Argent, and I also really like Citrus Riviera. I'm a fan of some of the brighter citrusy offerings, especially since we're kind of in the summertime now. But this is the brand new release, not the newest, but the second newest. This is Gris Charnel Extrait. This fragrance is spicy. You have the cardamom, you have this creaminess, this fruity accord in the opening. It's incredibly smooth with this creamy sandalwood in the base. And these are things that you already got from the original Gris Charnel, but now as we're taking a look at the Extrait, you find that all of these magnetic and alluring ingredients have been concentrated and have been amplified. You're going to get a stronger, bolder, more long-lasting and enduring experience from this fragrance. This is amazing. Gris Charnel Extrait is amazing. The more I wear it, the more I fall in love with it. And I would highly encourage everyone out there, if you don't have any experience with the brand of BDK Parfum, it is one of the fastest growing niche brands on the market. You owe it to yourself to sample at least 2 or 3 fragrances from the brand. If you're a fan of leather, you got to do creme de cuir. If you're a fan of creamy, iris, fruity fragrances, Gris Chanel is really where it's at. If you're a fan of citrus, you really got to do Citrus Riviera, but this brand has awesome fragrances. Here are 10 incredibly long-lasting fragrances, unapologetic longevity, and all beast mode. You're going to get 10 plus hours. With some of these fragrances, you'll get 24 hours. It really depends, and it also depends on your skin, how you wear them, where you apply them. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, if you're interested in sampling any of these fragrances, you may do so at scentsplit.com. All of the links are going to be down below. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. It would mean so much to me. Hit the bell so that you can be notified every time I upload a video, and I upload daily. And also give this video a thumbs up if you took something of value from it. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.